I don't do intros. How you guys doing today? I'm doing alright today. Today I have for you guys a very controversial weapon that you've no doubt come across if you have done any kind of PvP, because a lot of people use this weapon. But I want to offer some insight into this weapon that I don't think a lot of people do. Just explain more about the weapon and what I think people are doing wrong with this weapon. But with that being said, guys, before we talk about the video, before we talk about the weapon, if you guys wouldn't mind liking and subscribing the video, man, trying to get to 1,000 subs for the end of the year. We're right there. We're really close to it. Our next goal is 800, and I think we can do it pretty speedy. But that being said, guys, let's talk about this weapon. Go follow my Twitch if you guys haven't already. Yeah, pretty close to 50 followers on there too. But let's talk about the Rivers of Blood, man. So, this weapon was like king of the game for a little bit. It's just what everyone used because it was so powerful, right? But something that people don't remember is that when the game first came out, this weapon was dog shit because From Software actually broke the arcane scaling in the game. So weapons that had like a good amount of arcane scaling didn't have all their AR attached to them. Because the arcane scaling actually didn't work. So like weapons like Rivers of Blood, Reduvia, any kind of weapon that had arcane scaling on it just didn't work because arcane just wasn't working right as a stat. But as soon as it got fixed, they actually fixed the arcane scaling, and then they also buffed the Rivers of Blood, and then it kind of just fucking stomped the entire game. For a little bit, and then it got nerfed, and then it got nerfed, and then it got nerfed, and now it's in the state that it's in now. Personally, I feel like if you're using a Rivers of Blood arcane build, you're playing in 2022, man. Like you're living a pipe dream that just ain't there anymore. This weapon does not do enough bleed anymore. I mean, it still does a good amount of bleed, but it doesn't do damage if you have it on an arcane build. So, the idea that I had for this weapon was I wanted to throw it on my Bloodfire Knight, which is this build that you're seeing right here, and I wanted to see just the raw AR of the weapon, because if you look at the Rivers of Blood, it actually has a B scaling in DEX. I don't remember if it has any kind of strength scaling at all, but if it does, it's probably like not even, it's probably like a D or something like that, or an E. Something really, really bad. And I believe the arcane scaling actually isn't that great either. It's just the fact that if you run it on an arcane build, you have a good amount of a bleed buildup. So it makes it feel like the weapon's actually doing something when really the pure AR of the weapon actually isn't that high. So something to keep in mind when you're looking at the Rivers of Blood is that people don't really remember this about the weapon, but this is a split damage weapon. This is a split damage weapon. What does that mean? It means that it has two types of damage attached to it. And it's not arcane damage. It's actually fire damage. Yeah, I bet you don't remember that, did you? That this fucking weapon does fire damage. So yeah, like half its AR is split between physical damage and fire damage. Now, normally, that's pretty bad for a weapon. Just because split damage is not like, it's not better than just straight up raw damage. But for this build loves kind of split damage weapons because I have a lot of things that are boosting fire damage and have a really good amount of strength and dex. So like, you know, this weapon is ideally pretty good for splitting fire and physical damage. It's still not going to be like better than like a pure heavy or pure keen or anything like that, but for weapons like Rivers of Blood that can't be infused, it's pretty decent for them. And as you can see, the AR on the weapon actually isn't that bad when you put it on a quality build like this, or even like a pure dex build. It'd be pretty good on a pure dex build. What I'm really trying to say is that you can boost the AR of this weapon with things like Flame Grant Me Strength, which boosts physical and fire damage, and then you can have on the Flame Cracked here, even the Fire Scorpion Charm. and the fire damage at Rivers of Blood will go up. You will get more power, more AR from this weapon than just having it be just a regular bleed weapon. Which I feel like if you're using Rivers of Blood and on an arcane build like that in the year 2023, man, you're behind times. It got nerfed. It's not as good anymore, man. It doesn't mega stun people. It's not one-shotting people with one press of the L2 button anymore. Um, you gotta, if you like this weapon, right? And genuinely, I used to like this weapon. Not really much anymore, but I used to really like the weapon. I mean, it's really cool, man. It's a blood katana. It's a blood katana. How could you not like the weapon, right? But genuinely, if you like this weapon and you want to build to make it better, I think honestly, bro, just do a DEX build. Just do a DEX build, and don't even worry about the fact that it bleeds. Because in reality, this is a katana that has a long range double slash and does fire damage. That's what Rivers of Blood is. It's not a mega bleed weapon like it used to be. And I think when people just let go of that crutch they're holding on to for this weapon, I feel like this weapon could actually find its place in the game. Right now, it's like it's struggling with lost identity. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. That's the video for today. If you like this kind of content, this kind of build making content, this kind of weapon showcase content, this kind of PvP duel content, I do it all. Be sure to like and subscribe to the video. Trying to get to 1,000 subs before the end of the year. Go follow my Twitch if you have it. We're super close to 50 followers on there, and once we hit that, we can get a sub button. But with that being said, guys, fare thee well, peace out, and all that fun stuff. I'll see you guys later, man.